The story starts with Frank Castle, the Punisher, getting his head smashed in by an Asgardian god by the name of Coldax the Grave.
Ha! Mortals in Valhalla. The old man must be going soft. Or perhaps Odin was in need of a new barmaid.
What are you the god of? Big talk?
Ah!
Frank then goes on to prove that even mere mortals are more than what they appear, impressing this minor deity as he seeks to know where he received his training.
Thanos, the devil, and the United States Marine Corps.
Seeking peace and quiet, Frank takes his mead to drink solo, admiring the view of the Bifrost. But even this moment of solace is apparently too much to ask for.
Castle!
Hell.
The Allfather berates Castle for severing Coldax's nose using a shard of glass earlier, but Frank claims he only did so because he boasts of murdering children. This only adds to Odin's ire as he tells him that the orphan hordes of Niflheim are not the sort to take pity over, but Frank doesn't care.
That's him then. Yeah, I wanted to put him down for good, but it turns out you can't really kill anyone here. You take a man's nose, it'll make him think though.
Odin then tells him that there was a time where he would have met his insolence with a punishment beyond comprehension and without end, but admits that he's tired and that Coldax is hardly worth the effort. What he truly wanted to know was why Frank isn't enjoying his time in Valhalla, a place that would be regarded as an honor to any great warrior, befitting someone of the Punisher's reputation.
I never asked to be in your stupid heaven, Odin. Never asked for a reward.
Frank tells him that the only thing that kept his sanity during his years of countless onslaught was the knowledge that one day he would get his turn to be punished. But that never truly happened, did it? Despite even once serving under Thanos.
Ask me again why I spit in your face.
Come with me.
As he walks with the Allfather, he is told that the only reason he brought him to Valhalla was because he was justifiably a warrior of some note, but he won't force him to stay should he desire to leave. This even reminds him of a human saying he is fond of.
I believe it is you and the horse you rode in on.
Although Frank refuses to don the mantle of the spirit of vengeance again, Odin wasn't asking.
No, it's too much. It's about time.
With his transformation now making him more willing to pursue this path, the Ghost Rider only requests from Odin one simple favor.
Send me to Titan!
And so he does, traversing their civilization in the shadows in order to finally reach his destination, a baby Thanos in his crib. But before he has the chance to pull the trigger, the toddler shows us that he was mad long before he earned the title.
Where is my mother?
Damn it, how are you already like this?
Who are you? What do you want?
Alright, kid. Let me take a good look at you. This ain't my first time giving Thanos the penance stare.
Despite his attempt to give him the infamous stare and burn his very essence, Frank found it to be ineffective, as it only works on the guilty.
This ain't Thanos. Not yet.
What was that? It felt odd, like...
Still, though.
Not quite being able to decide what to do with him, between not being able to kill him and not willing to leave him here to turn into a monster either. Frank contemplates whether someone can ever be redeemed, but then he thinks...
Only one way to find out.
A few hours later, they end up in a bar where the child shows his odd fascination with death, despite Frank constantly trying to change the subject.
How is it?
Yucky. Tell me more about murder.
Ah, damn.
The bartender brings his manager due to the fact that Frank brought a kid there. And when things get heated, Thanos would immediately like to try his obsession firsthand, much to Frank's dismay. Castle pleads with the heated folks in the room about how he's trying as much as possible not to let the kid witness violence. But the manager cuts him off as he wants to inquire as to why he says they're all going to die.
Oh, that. Yeah, I kept telling you, man. I'm here to meet a friend.
It's none other than Galactus coming here to consume this world. Frank makes a false promise of going up to stop him for no other reason than for these people to die hopeful. His true intention is trying to remember who he knew during this time period, for which he remembered Galactus telling him about this planet being consumed during Frank's time as his herald. But he can't quite remember what was so significant about this story until...
Fishies!
Oh, right. The swarm of star sharks. You want some help? Galactus requires no assistance. Be gone.
After disposing of the star sharks easily, Frank tries to go back to what they were saying, but Galactus isn't having any of it. Until he sees that the rider has withstood the blast of the power cosmic, making him more willing to lend an ear this time.
Look, you got weird cosmic telepathic mind powers, right? Why don't we stop dancing and you just cut to the very well?
And then Galactus looked into the writer's mind, opening his memories about their time together as they scoured the stars while on the hunt for the Mad Titan, and how they failed, with Thanos killing Galactus and enslaving the writer as an unwilling servant. This piques the Devourer's interest, as he is also now aware of how him and the writer are eventually going to become allies. But now, knowing his own demise by the hands of Thanos, Galactus demands the writer hand over the child.
You know what, buddy? I've had enough big purple dudes ordering me around. If you want the kid, you gotta go.
Sky Baby!
Sky Baby?
Frank, upon seeing the Watcher, who only appears when a great change will come, tries to convince Galactus of how optimistic he is about what he's doing with Kid Thanos.
Incorrect.
The case, in fact, is the opposite. The Watcher warns Frank that what he is doing is dangerous and pointless. Thanos' destiny is a universal constant.
Well then, if it's so damn impossible, why did you come here, you damn ghoul?
To witness the worst choice that any living being has ever made in the history of thought, and the immediate consequences thereof.
He then shows him a glimpse of the future he has created should this continue. And a group immediately slips through this timeline, viciously attacking the writer, who turn out to be none other than this alternate universe's Guardians of the Galaxy, who demand the same thing as Galactus, Thanos' blood. And although Frank could easily take them out as the Cosmic Ghost Rider, he chooses to flee, still foolishly hoping to spare the child the sight of violence. But as Cable, the group's leader, mercilessly keeps giving chase, the Rider has had enough, tossing the child to the Watcher before getting down to business. And so he slaughters and slaughters, but Cable keeps calling for backup from the future timeline, visibly aging as he does so. And by the end of it, it's safe to say that the Rider is taking out an army of variant heroes, all wanting the child's death, who is unfortunately bearing witness to the entire event. He is eventually knocked out and overrun. But then he wakes up a few minutes later, wondering why they didn't finish the job.
Oh, hell.
Damn it, Thanos! What did I tell you?
No murder.
That's right, no murders!
Even at death's door, Cable is still attempting to call for more heroes, but Frank starts blasting at him before he could finish his sentence, and then demands that he leaves him and the kid alone.
You don't understand, Frank. The Thanos you raise. You think you know, but you don't. He's worse. Oh God, he's so much worse. Please, please, Frank, you have to.
Before he could finish, he gets blasted to bits, and Frank is quite shocked to see who did the deed.
Hey, Dad. Sorry I'm late.
Despite all of Frank's hopes and struggles to rehabilitate the child, seeing the skull emblazoned on the shirt of the adult Thanos gave him a sudden realization that considering he isn't a saint himself, who is he to redeem anybody? And even a worse prospect, what is he changing him into? The child drops to inspect his older counterpart, asking who he's supposed to be.
I'm the Punisher. Oh, for f***'s sake. We need to hurry, Father. The portal will not hold for much longer. And my time period is the only place we will be saved. Yeah, sure. Let's go see whatever new godforsaken hell I've created this time. Wait.
But the result appears to be nothing less than a heaven on earth, unsurprisingly shocking Frank. Thanos tells him this is the culmination of both their hard work throughout the years, eliminating crime, making families safe, and watching children grow and blossom.
This is our dream. This is our home.
I knew it. I knew there was hope.
Father, there is something I need to show you.
He then takes him to his resting place. And although Frank initially asked how it happened, he changed his mind before Thanos could finish his answer. Some things are just best left unknown. What he did want to know, though, was if it was a life well spent, or whether it even mattered.
Father, you have taught me everything I know. It is my greatest honor to have...
Wait, what is that?
Father, wait.
Is that smoke? Oh my God. What have you done?
As Frank is justifiably horrified by the scene, Thanos explains there were some who didn't want what they built, but would rather stay as crime-ridden animals. He speaks of them as if they are a dangerous contagion that must be kept separate from where they are standing now. He goes on to state that this is where Cable and his little rebellion started as well, after losing a bit of control of the camps. This angers the writer.
You're making them suffer. You're torturing them.
I'm punishing them!
Before he continues berating Thanos, Junior unsurprisingly sides with Senior on this, having Frank go through an almost comedic realization.
How? Wait. Damn it. How did I end up surrounded by two of you? Again?
Thanos calls it destiny, but Frank doesn't buy such a concept, claiming they can be what they choose to be.
What would you have me do? You raised me to not kill, and yet, we cannot allow these people to intermingle with the good. They will never accept the life we have given them. They are incapable of peace. They can never be redeemed.
Castle says everyone deserves a chance, but Thanos simply points out the hypocrisy that of all people, Frank is the one who is speaking of second chances.
That is not who I am. You do not understand what we are protecting.
And in that lone cabin stands young Frank and his wife, living a fulfilling life. Thanos claims he went back to the past and saved them from their eventual demise. But the writer thinks he's bluffing, for how come he's still here if his past was overwritten?
Because people don't change. Because this is who you were all along.
This knowledge causes Frank to panic, and in that state, he grabs the child in order to end it all, claiming that in every dimension and timeline, Thanos always manages to turn him into a monster.
Put the gun down, father!
I am not your father. This ends now, Thanos. I should have done this a long time.
Having enough of the writer's antics, Thanos beats him down, saying they could have ruled the world together. But he would, however, still allow him to be by his side as a herald, showing that history does indeed repeat itself. Feigning to reach his hand out in acceptance, Frank blasts him to the city below instead, and then goes to follow him to finish it, once and for all.
In case I wasn't clear, that was a no.
Then you die! Ah!
I've been dead longer than you've been alive, boy. I'm not afraid of you, and I'm done living on my knees.
Thanos then reveals that this is the exact same sentiment he uttered before he killed him, because same as now, he disagreed about this hell of a city.
We have done this dance before, father. You lose this fight!
What fight?
As Frank blasts him with all his might, he tells Thanos that he has no idea how much he holds back. And as he begs him to stop, addressing him as his father, Frank reminds him that he is not his father. His children are dead, and nothing can change that. He then steps forward to finish him off with a penitent stare. Thanos foolishly believes that it won't work on him because he already tried to do so when he was a child. But now he is, without a doubt, not innocent.
Penance means punishment, you ugly son of a bitch.
As the fight concluded, the younger Frank spots baby Thanos and then goes to pick him up.
Put him down.
But the elder has other ideas, and as he hands him over, begging him not to hurt them, the older Frank simply tells him to never beg.
You're going to take me back now, aren't you?
I am.
Then won't this timeline die?
Yeah, it will. But at least they'll die with hope.
And with that, the writer takes the child back to his homeworld of Titan, going through the same twists and turns he walked through in order to place him back where he found him. But before he could leave, he is thanked by a figure in the shadows.
Ah, for the love of thanks for what?
Who is none other than Mistress Death, coming to thank him for teaching the boy how to kill, much to his dismay. But before he leaves, he wanted to ask her something.
Why him? Why won't you just leave him alone? Can't there be a second chance?
Not with me, no. Once I have chosen a being as my living instrument on the mortal plane, I'm afraid their path is in stone, and I choose many children, Francis Castle.
Yeah, well, get in line, sister. I ain't done just yet.
As he walks away, he contemplates the theme of this entire story. Can one truly be redeemed, especially someone like him? And if so, is he deserving of it? But then he thinks,
Only one way to find out.